Now to the Merseyside derby, and Everton have not beaten their great rivals at home in 10 attempts. The two go into the match in very different form, but Rafa Benitez is hoping to use the occasion to kickstart Everton's season.
A derby is always special, no, in every country, but here the passion, I live in the city, so I know what means that. The passion is massive, and then we know that it's really important for everyone, and that is the reason why I want to win and I want to do well, because it's for us as a club, as a team, it's really important to bring back the confidence. It's a derby, it's a massive game, and it's different, it's special, and I'm really convinced that we have to do well. I will be an opportunity for us to change things and to improve everything for us for the rest of the season.
Stewart, well, obviously it's a game that you've played in. Talk us through what this feels like.
But it's a special, obviously, occasion, atmosphere. I think early on, like I say, very loud, especially, Everton, they make it a little more hostile, I think. I always thought, for Liverpool, it was more Man United, it was more of a bigger game. Everton fans probably won't like me for saying that, but, that's what the reality was. But I expect, obviously, Everton to try and make a fast start and try and make it uncomfortable for them. But I think as the game goes on, I expect Liverpool's quality to shine through, and Everton's, frailties in defence, especially to come to light.
Yeah, you finally made your way out the tunnel there. Eventually, we saw. Jobi, Everton go into this game having lost at Brentford at the weekend. How concerned are you for them right now?
Yeah, getting on a real poor run of form after such a bright start to the season. I think certainly losing to Brentford was, I say a poor result. Again, I'm sure Rafa Benitez will be pointing to some injury problems that they've had, Calvert-Lewin in particular. Decore has been out, but he's back now, so I think that'll help. But I think certainly from his point of view, he'll be looking forward to the game, because when you are in a rut, you are in bad form, that clearly Everton are. There's no better game than this. You shouldn't need any manager to get you up if you're an Everton player, and you're going to play against Liverpool. One, the form that they're in, but two, the rivalry that is involved with this game. As Shu obviously knows better than anybody, I think it's a game that they can really go into and hopefully give themselves a lift, because they need a result. And if they do get one, manage to get something out of the game, it can be potentially a turning point for them. But I think it will be a tough afternoon, given what we've seen in recent weeks from Everton.
Well, let's put the question to Stewart then, shall we? Does form mean anything going into a Merseyside derby? Yes and no. I think early on, you wouldn't probably understand if one team is struggling or not, because, like I said, the atmosphere is up, the two tackles go in, not from myself, but other players. But, obviously, the atmosphere, like I said, the atmosphere is up there. But I think once the game sort of dies down and Liverpool start to find their rhythm, I think that their quality will overtake them. And that's generally what happens in the games what I played in. I don't think we lost when I was there, but generally late on in games, we sort of took control and won the games. But like I say, early on, it's a bit intense. You just need to sort of quieten the crowd, especially at Goodison. And, like I say, the quality of especially Liverpool's front players will definitely shine through, I think. Yeah. Jobi, Rafa Benitez obviously had some doubters, none more so for his Liverpool past. But what might a defeat tonight mean for him?
Listen, I think he will be given a bit of time. Clearly, there was a lot to think about in appointing him, given his history as Liverpool manager previously. So I'm sure there will be factors that he will be pointing at in terms of why they are where they are and why the form's been as bad as it has been. I think the type of performance sometimes is more important than the result. Of course, you need to win games. Of course, you need to pick points up. But we've seen previously, and I think with Manchester United and Ollie, in terms of the type of performance, I think he needs a good effort from the players. He needs to show that they're still fighting for him. And I think he needs to be careful that it isn't a real big defeat, because that's when the questions really start coming.
Yeah, Stuart, Everton have had many injuries, haven't they? But it seems that every year we sit here and go, well, they started the season really well and then have tailed off. Why did we see that with Everton, and who is the real Everton?
We don't know, do we? I always thought with the quality they have, the players, yes, they've had big injuries. Calvert-Lewin's the big one, they have to be aiming for at least Europe, I think. And the quality they have, they've got great fans. You have to say that. I think they get good backing from the owners, but they're a little bit inconsistent as a team. They're changing managers, and they have spent a lot of money over the last couple of years on. And then there's different styles of managers coming in, so that takes time. But and in the Premier League, you don't get time. And I think, like Jobi said, Rafa, good performance and a result, because get a bit embarrassing. It's a big defeat. Then I think he comes under serious pressure.
Yeah, I think when you say, they've got a good squad, they should certainly be performing better than they are results-wise. But you have to have a look at the investment or lack of in the club. And, in terms of some of the other clubs, certainly rivaling Everton for those which you would think potentially a top 6, top 8 place in the table, they're nowhere near them in terms of what the other clubs are spending. He hasn't really been given much to go and work with. He's had to really scour the market for free transfers or really cheap options. And I think in the end that does tell, because, again, the squad's probably not as deep as he would like it to be, and certainly they haven't got the quality when they do pick up 1 or 2 injuries. So I definitely feel there's a few mitigating circumstances as to why they haven't kicked on as well as maybe we thought they would have done, Rob.
Yeah, and they have this question over financial fair play, haven't they, and limiting them in that way, but they can still sell few and do it that way. Right, Liverpool, as for them, they've scored at least twice in each of their last 17 games in all competitions, the joint longest such run in history by an English top division side since Sunderland did it way back in 1927.
I think previous form matters, especially when it's good. We should keep that. We play good football. We have to good football tomorrow night, and if we do that, then we are difficult to play. Being 1-0 up, being 2-0 up is not something where you start enjoying. It's just the work to do. That's what we really have to do outside there. But of course, some of the goals we scored were really nice. But I'm not seeking for joy around football games. I can enjoy them when I watch them back, when they were good. But during a game, I'm not in the mindset for that.
Stewart, it might surprise you that not even I can remember that Sunderland run in 1927, but there are such things. Right, let's talk about Mo Salah, Stewart, shall we? Came 7th in the voting for the Ballon d'Or awards earlier this week. How surprised were you by that position, that it wasn't higher?
Very surprised, very surprised. I think at least in the top 3. I think his form, as you know, that the last couple of years, his goal scoring ability obviously is a standout. But I find it astonishing really how he's not at least in the top 3. I think he laughs about it, doesn't he? I think he always says that he might not win it, but how he's not even talked about in there, because I think at the minute on form he was one of the best players in the world, if not the best player. So very disappointing, I think, for him personally. But he's a top player, and he should, like you say, he should just carry on doing what he's doing, because he should win it.
We'll just let you go and answer the door, shall we? I think it's Adam Forshaw just popping round to say hello after you gave him a name check. Jobi, let's go to you, because the problem is it's not just Mo Salah, Sadio Mane and Naby Keita as well, heading off for the Africa Cup of Nations in the new year. I wonder, Diogo Jota, how important he will be then in the next sort of couple of months or so.
Oh, it's going to be absolutely huge. I think we've seen the impact he's made. There was a time where we couldn't see anybody else coming into that front 3 that have been so successful for Liverpool over the last few years. But he's been a brilliant addition. He gives that front 3 a slightly different dynamic to Firmino, who wants to generally come and link. He'll go on behind. He'll make runs past the opposition, and what he always does is make sure he's in between those sticks, as you can see here, getting what you look like are tap-ins, but you have to be in there to score, and that's probably Firmino's biggest criticism. So certainly losing Mane, Salah, Keita is going to be a massive blow. I think for Liverpool, could potentially be the difference between them going on and winning the league and not. They have got some replacements, obviously Minamino as well, who has come on and been effective in the limited time he's had. So certainly squad players are going to have to come up and step up at a crucial time in the season for Liverpool.
Let's have a very quick look, Stuart, at their next 6 fixtures in the league, shall we? because what comes up January the 2nd is Chelsea, when you think those 3 players will most probably have departed. So how important is it to get the results here?
Yeah, massive. Then he gets some points. Can they get maximum out of the lot? Wouldn't surprise me if they did. Got the quality, and like Jobi said, come January, that could be a big turning point of can they win the league or not with the players they're missing, teams they've got, and people like Jota, who, to be fair, him comes into the team and does well, and then sometimes he's left out. He doesn't seem to mourn. He gets on with it, comes back in and does his job again, and that's what you need for players. And I think he'll know down he's going to be in that January, and he's a big player for Liverpool at the minute.